Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some real talk about BookTube. If you're new here, hi, my name's Katie. I've been on BookTube for a little over 3 years now. I've been watching BookTube for probably 7 or 8, which just makes me feel extremely old. But the BookTube real talk tag has been going around and I've really enjoyed watching everyone do it because it's more of like a discussion than a book tag, and it's been very enlightening to hear everyone's perspectives on our community currently. And I think it's something important to do for us to talk about and be willing to talk about, because for us to ever be able to get better or move forward, I think we have to be self-aware of where we are now. Anyway, I'm excited to kind of throw my hat in the ring and just add my 2 cents to the conversation if anybody cares. If you've come to see some tea be spilled or whatever, you have come to the wrong place. I'm not even gonna put a disclaimer here. It's something I could talk about in this tag. But anyway, let's just get straight into the questions. I'll have the original tag linked down below in the description too if you want to go check that out. So the first question is, what's something nobody told you about BookTube before you started your channel? I feel like there are so many things that I could say about this one. The 2 big things that stick out in my head are 1, the drama of BookTube, and 2, for lack of a better descriptor, the entitlement of viewers. So we'll start with number 1, the drama. I think I actually actively say in some of my earlier videos how BookTube is so nice and there's no drama here and like there aren't mean people on BookTube. And I was so naive with my tiny little channel at the beginning because BookTube is one of the most dramatic and sometimes vicious communities I have ever been a part of. More so on Book Twitter than on BookTube, but it's insane how many scandals we have going on, how there's always tea being spilled, there's always some kind of drama, and everyone always has to put their 2 cents in on it. It blows small problems out of proportion every single time. I purposefully never comment on it or try to never get in the middle of it because I really don't want to be a part of all of that drama. But coming into BookTube, I really did not expect there to be so much drama. Like, who knew people could get so angry talking about books? And the thing is, like, I understand where these people are coming from and I understand the intent behind a lot of the things that I've seen happening, especially lately, but the execution of people's frustrations has been misplaced. And I really don't agree with the way that things have been happening and the way that we've been attacking people and canceling people, and it's gotten so out of hand. It's gotten so out of hand. Like, the fact that people are like harassing authors on Twitter, like I said, I understand people's frustrations and I agree with a lot of what people are saying. I just don't agree with how people are going about trying to change what's happening, which is actually something I'll get into on one of the later questions. So then the second thing I said was the entitlement of viewers, and this isn't something that I started to experience myself until my channel started to get like a little bit bigger, but I've seen this on my videos, I have seen this on fellow creators' videos, just the way I feel like there must be like a disconnect for some people watching these videos and like demanding things of creators, like creators owe them something or they just like expect things from people now. It's wild. It's not something I ever expected to happen, especially on my channel, to have people get angry at me for not making the videos that they want to see, for people to get angry at me for changing my content, for people to get angry at me for not winning giveaways or for not sending them my things. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, let's move on to number 2, which is, what is your opinion on typical BookTube videos, wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc.? I think the fact that this is even a discussion right now is ridiculous. That people are actually, again, like, people are angry about everything right now. The fact that people are like complaining that some people only make these standard videos. I don't think there's anything wrong with these standard videos. I personally love wrap-ups and TBRs. I love hearing people's opinions on books. That's like the whole purpose of this community. And I love TBRs because it helps me find new books. I don't really watch hauls a ton and I don't really make them a ton just because I find them kind of boring, but I know a lot of other people really enjoy them. And I just think it's hypocritical that people are like hating on people who only make those videos. But then anytime someone in the BookTube community tries to branch out, tries to be creative, they usually get a lot of flack. And then those videos don't get very many views. So I don't really know what people want. So my opinion is that people should make whatever videos they want to make. And if you're unhappy with that, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to be subscribed to that person. Number 3 is, what is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? I think the easiest assumption was I never assumed my channel would get very big. I always kind of assumed I would stay in the like 1,000 or 2,000 subscriber range. So the fact that it's gotten as big as it has, not that it's even like that big in the grand scheme of things, but it's bigger than I ever thought it was going to get, which kind of freaks me out sometimes still. But also something that Jordan Harvey was saying in her version of this tag was her assumptions about how easy it would be to make connections on here and how easy it would be to make friends on here. And that like really resonated with me because at first it was pretty easy. I made friends really easily. I met a lot of people, but as I've been on here for over 3 years now, a lot of the people who made channels at the same time as I did aren't making videos anymore. And so some of them will still stay in touch like over Twitter and stuff like that, but it's not really the same. I never made that like really strong, close group of friends that you see on here a lot, like the people who all go to the book expos and stuff like that. And part of it might be that I don't go to events, so I never meet people in person. I'm also just like super busy and I really suck at communicating. That's 100% on me. My real life friends will tell you I am terrible at texting back. But yeah, I kind of assumed that because this community is so big and the one thing everyone will tell you when you're joining is it's so welcoming and everyone is so nice, and to an extent it is, but making friendships and connections did not happen the way that I had expected it to, but that wasn't necessarily like a bad thing, if that makes sense. Number 4 is what's something that you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience. Okay, so I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I don't think I've ever talked about this on here actually. The way that my channel grew, I hate the way that my channel grew actually. I hate how my channel got popular. I don't want to say I regret it because I'm really not someone who believes in like regrets and things like that, but honestly if I could go back and change it and not do the things that I did to get more subscribers, and if that meant that I had like a smaller community now, I think I might choose having a smaller community. Because the thing is, it was probably like 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, that I started making a series of videos that got super popular. You guys have probably all seen them. You guys have probably found my channel through those videos, honestly. And the longer you do this, the more you start to kind of get a feel for what videos are going to be popular. Like now, before I even post a video, I could probably guess within 100 to 200 views exactly how many views a video is going to get. With like the analytics and things, like you just kind of start to get a feel for it. And so early on, I realized that negative videos got a lot of views. Like popular books I hate, or popular books I'm never gonna read, or characters I hated, or rant reviews, and these titles are probably sounding familiar to you guys if you've seen my most popular videos. And so I made a lot of them and they all blew up. Like some of them got like 80,000 views, some of them got like 30,000 views, which isn't like a ton in the grand scheme of YouTube, but for my channel, which at the time I think had like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, was a ton. And that's when I had like a giant influx of subscribers. And I wish that hadn't been the case. Like part of me is grateful because I know a lot of you found my channel through those videos, and so now I'm really grateful that you're here. But at the same time, I started my channel when I was 19. It was the summer after I finished my freshman year of college, and I feel like I've changed so much in those 4 years. And when I was making those videos, I hadn't really grown comfortable enough with myself and this channel to really kind of get in my groove and make the videos that I wanted to make on here. And so now I look back at those videos and I'm like kind of embarrassed about them, and I just kind of wish that that's not what I'm like known for, or like the videos of mine that have been seen the most, because I feel like I'm not that person. I feel like I'm not like a super negative person. I'm really positive actually, and I really don't like spreading negativity. And I've gotten a lot of messages and comments and stuff on those videos of people accusing me of being like really mean and stuff like that. And that's just not who I am. So the fact that those are the videos that got popular bother me, because I feel like that's not an accurate representation of who I am. And if you look at like the number of subscribers I have and the average number of views that I get on my videos, you can see there's a bit of a discrepancy there, because I don't make those videos anymore. I just don't like making those negative videos anymore. That's just not who I am anymore. That's not the kind of content I want to put out on my channel. And that's what a lot of people subscribed for, because they liked those kind of videos, and so they don't watch my other videos now. So I know today if I sat down and filmed a negative video like that, it would get probably twice as many views as my normal videos, but it's just not worth it. That's not what I want to do. So that's how I grew my channel. I wouldn't really recommend it, honestly. Number 5 is, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? I think it's just trying to emulate what you've seen to be successful. Not like copying people, but trying to like emulate the way that they've achieved success. And so I think the most like stereotypical way and the way that people like to criticize is when newer booktubers are like yelling at the camera or like really energetic and bubbly and stuff. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's interesting that we criticize people for putting on this persona in front of the camera and acting a certain way for their audience, when honestly, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that if that's what you want to do. If you want to treat this more as like an acting kind of thing and you want to put on a character and entertain people, like I don't think there's a problem with that if that's what you want to do. Personally, I've found that I enjoy more just like sitting in front of the camera and being myself, and even though I'm more like calm and subdued, and some people find that boring and some people don't want to watch my content because I'm not super energetic, and that's fine, honestly. I think it really just depends on what your target audience is and what kind of community you want to build. Like, for example, the bigger booktubers, a large portion of their audience are younger, and there's nothing wrong with that. And younger people like the like super energetic entertainment value edits and stuff like that. Whereas my demographic for my audience is mostly older. It's people who are my age or a little bit older. I think it's from like 18 to mid 30s is my largest chunk, compared to a lot of people who have like under 17. And so the way that you behave will attract different kinds of viewers. And so if you're conscious of the kind of people that you want to attract to your videos, then I would behave accordingly, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling. I feel like any of this isn't making sense. But my point is, a lot of people criticize booktubers for like not being themselves at first and like trying to act like the bigger booktubers, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being loud and bubbly if that's how you want to come across online. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being more quiet and calm if that's who you are and that's how you want to come across online. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why we all judge what other people do. I don't see how it's any of our business. But if you want like a younger audience and things like that, I think the like loud, I don't know why every time I say loud, I've been doing this, but the like more energetic videos tends to attract them. And then the more like serious analytical discussions about books tends to attract like an older, more serious audience. Did that even answer that question? I don't know. Number 6 is, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I have so many thoughts on this. And honestly, the discussions that I've heard about this just kind of blow my mind, because the way I see it is very black and white. You either trust the person that you are watching or you don't. You either trust their opinion, you trust their integrity, you trust their honesty, or you don't. And so if they're making a review about a book that they bought themselves, or if they are making a review about a book that they are sponsored by, I don't understand why you would trust them more in one case than you would in the other. You either trust them or you don't. And so a lot of people think that like if you accept a sponsorship or if a publisher sends you a book, they're paying you to say something nice about it. And that's not the case. You are not required to say that you liked this book. That's never in any contract that I've signed. So when I see creators that I love and I watch and I see them get a sponsorship or I see them getting free things from publishers and stuff, I'm like, good for you. Like, I support you because I like you and I want you to succeed. And I think it's very hypocritical that we support people and we want them to succeed until they actually start succeeding and then we criticize them for that. I think it's perfectly normal to want to profit and get something in return for all of the hard work and all of the time that you've invested in something, because making videos and being a YouTuber actually takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, most of which you never get compensated for. So I think the fact that people criticize creators that they supposedly love and support for trying to get compensation for all of their hard work is ridiculous. I wholeheartedly support people getting their money. You guys work hard, you've earned it, you deserve it. I think we should all just support each other. Someone else's success is not your failure. I don't see why we can't all build each other up, because tearing someone else down is not the only way to build yourself up. So my thoughts on it is, go for it. If you have the opportunity, of course you don't want to turn that down. I completely understand. If I like you and if I trust you as a person, you doing a sponsorship does not change that opinion whatsoever. Another big like drama here has been which booktubers get things sent to them from the publishers, and I completely understand their frustration here because it is unfair and it is something that I think needs to be addressed in this industry, but I feel like people are misplacing their frustration onto the people who are receiving the books, because it's not the booktubers themselves who are causing the inequalities and the problems in this industry, it's the publishers themselves. So if you have an issue with who's receiving books and who's not receiving books, that's something that needs to be taken up with the publisher, and we shouldn't be criticizing booktubers who have a big following for getting that, because getting arcs and books from publishers and stuff is just part of marketing for the publisher. So of course they're going to give it to people who have a larger audience because they're trying to give that book its best chance. They're trying to make money because a lot of books actually lose money for publishers, so it makes sense that they would try and give the book its best chance by giving it to people with a large audience. And so I understand like smaller creators' frustrations in not receiving books, or people really want to see own voice creators get these books, and I totally get that. But I've seen a lot of people trashing bigger booktubers or demonizing them or criticizing them, and I just think that frustration is misplaced and it's not fair. It's not fair for you to expect a bigger booktuber to turn down a really good opportunity because you think someone else deserves it more. I hope I'm making sense on this one. I'm just tired of seeing people within this community attack each other. Number 7, this is the last question, is do you think BookTube is dying? And my answer to this is no. I think BookTube is changing. I think BookTube is evolving, but I don't think it's dying, especially considering BookTube was already kind of like rising when I joined like 3 years ago, and now there are so many new channels like every single day, and people are constantly joining, and the enthusiasm is undying around here, and I don't think this community is going anywhere anytime soon. I get comments every day of people who have just found my channel who didn't even know like what BookTube was. Like, people are discovering this community every single day. So no, I definitely do not think this community is dying. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say on this one. I feel like I already probably offended someone with something that I said. But anyway, if you haven't done this tag and you want to, feel free. I tag you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not already, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you would like. I put up at least 2 new videos every single week. I'll have links to all of my social media and my Patreon account down below in the description if you want to go check those out. And other than that, I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you, I feel a connection. With you, it's